Can Nada tie it up, or will this guy down here at the bottom left knock him out of the GSL? And one of the biggest upsets I think the world will have ever seen is Slayer's Ben. Up at the top right, we have our OGS player, formerly of the team We Made Fox, like his opponent, for different games. He is OGS Nada. Our map is Crossfire. I'll talk a little bit about it. There are several ramps and choke points located in the center of the map. Here's one. Here's the watchtower that overlooks these choke points. There's another choke point here. There's a ramp here as well. And all of these same structures are on the other side as well, of course. So that's how a balanced map is made. Look at this choke point. Look at this ramp. So there are very good units here, like Colossi in this matchup, that can deal extra damage. Siege tanks can as well. Sometimes you see Protoss players try to fast expand against someone who goes for that fabled 1-1-1 build where they're tanks, marines, and banshees. They siege up kind of here, they slowly push bunkers down and kill the nexus from this location. It's very common to see on this map. Colossi do quite well, but also if you have good Viking control, you can do well against the Colossi, because the Stalkers can't really blink forward to hit the Vikings, or they can't get close to this edge without getting hit by bio forces. So it's a really interesting map. It forces engagements to occur in a quite interesting way. To use the word interesting twice repeatedly. To be redundant after saying the word interesting twice repeatedly. Wow. Alright, guys. Well, the gas over here for Nada has started. And, you know, on this map, a lot of the time we see that Marine Tank Banshee build, so that's exactly what Ben's going to be looking for when he comes in here to scout with this probe. We'll do a little bit of harassment as well. But knowing the gas is here is the most important thing. And the probe here is going to get out, most likely. A lot of people have now recently been stealing the second gases of Terrans to prevent a lot of builds. People have been struggling with Cloak a little bit again. Cloak's kind of made a comeback in Korea. I've noticed it in foreign tournaments a little bit more as well right now, but Cloak Banshees have kind of been a problem for many Protosses with the styles that people have been doing right now. People like to skip robos, but not going to take that second gas. Just something I wanted to talk about a little bit. Now, Nada is not making a factory, he's doing it 2 racks here, reactor first. Second gas for Ben is up and spotted, actually, by Nada. Right now, Ben just checking all over the map, making sure that there's no hidden factory. We don't really know what was going to happen with that hidden factory last game. He could have just been using it for exactly what he did with his scouting, and also to go in the main base, put a little bit of Hellion pressure on to keep his opponent in his base. Could have been for Cloak Banshees, we really don't know. But it's just one of those things that I'll just have to ask Nada in person next time I go out drinking coffee with him. Nada and I hang out all the time, so you guys wish you could do, because you don't live in Korea. Some of you guys who do live in Korea should be at the studio right now. And look at this, this is actually not what I expected to see at all. Then we go for a Stargate down here. On the left side of the map, Stargate all-ins, Void Ray all-ins are pretty popular on this map. Why? Well, I'll tell you. Thanks for asking so politely. There's destructible rocks here, so if you go for a Void Ray all-in, yeah, Void Ray all-ins are better when your opponent walls off, because he has depots, he has the barracks you can charge up on, you can pick off Marines on the side. But if you do that and he has a bunker and he's fine, you just leave, you attack this location, you can use these rocks to charge up Void Rays. Void Rays that are charged up can kill rocks very quickly. You start attacking from 2 sides. Void Ray all-ins can be quite powerful on this map. And, we see Ben adding 3 gateways, and I think we may very well see that Void Ray all-in. There's no other reason for his Stargate to be at this location, and there it is, the first Void Ray. And this is actually such a strong build. Nada going for a factory, actually, off of 1 base, getting his second gas as well. Now, that means that he will eventually have a Viking out to help deal with this, which is really important. Whoa, bit of a misclick there, excuse me. When you have that Viking out, if you can shut down the Void Ray, it shuts down the entire all-in. With no Void Ray in the mix, then of course, yeah, you can't warp it on the high ground, you can't get vision of your opponent's units, and that's why it's a Void Ray all-in. It's a Void Ray all-in because Void Rays are strong, and they're the key of the all-in. SCV gets taken out here. The Stalker continues to have the watchtower. I like that little move by now. Notice they set the SCV up there to block the tower at the precise moment these units will be walking up. It didn't work out, but it could have. And, you know, Nada actually has such a large force. Is he going to force field in time? That was a close call. And Nada actually trapped outside, but he's trapped outside with units that are not going to escape once Stalker does get taken out. Oh man, Nada. That says, I am not falling out of GSL today. Stim is halfway done. He's making 3 Marines at a time back home. There is a Void Ray in his main base, though, getting some kills. Second Void Ray is on its way, and you know what? Nada does not have an answer for this. But will it matter? I don't think so, because Nada has such a strong force in the main base here. The sentry's rejoining, though. Probe's coming off the line. Nada is going to have to micro like a madman. Oh no, gets trapped here. But the probe's not really able to engage in the best possible way. And, well, this is going to be an interesting game, guys. Oh, Ven pulls the Void Ray away. 2 Void Rays. This Void Ray almost reached charge. It was at level 2. 3 Marines at a time being rallied out here. You can see Nada rallying a ton out. In the meantime, cleaning up the final probes here. Stim is almost done. Is he going to let it finish? Looks like he will. Oh, he cannot believe he's not killing the Stim. He will kill this last Marine at the very least, though, and now he can go to work on SCVs. Ven not controlling this Void Ray, going for this add-on, then losing a few hit points, and his shield's not able to quite recharge, and eventually this Void Ray will die when these Marines are popping out. SCV is actually running out here. Meanwhile, Ven, with no supply back at home, this Void Ray is his only hope. It's the Obi-Wan Void Ray, and eventually it is going to die to these Marines coming out. Stim is finished. He stims immediately. Goodbye Void Ray, and goodbye Ven. Nada takes him out here. Nada actually sending some SCVs down. Probably do some Manor Command Center action or something. I don't know. Oh, I take it back. There's one more Void Ray. But even so, I mean, this Void Ray cannot last forever. Even if Void Rays are microed perfectly, Nada can hide more barracks. He actually may start hiding some barracks in here, start making Marines. I mean, he knows that now that Nexus is gone, the only thing he has to worry about is his Void Ray. There's a Zealot here as well, but sending the Zealot to attack Marauders for some reason at this moment. Marine doing some extra damage to this Void Ray's hull. And with more Marines coming out here, stimming, Ven is just living in a pipe dream at this point. It's like worse than a pipe dream. It's a nightmare. If you're like life is microing one Void Ray against Nada's Marines that come out one at a time, it's not a good life. Nada actually not making barracks. He's actually going to lose his last barracks. I don't know why he's not making barracks with these 3 SCVs. It helps him kill the base of his opponent faster, but he needs to get some more Marines out. He's just going to send these Marines by the looks of things. Kill the Void Ray, and that will be it. GG. I'm sorry you guys had to see that. I'm sorry you guys had to see that. That was rated R, watching Nada deflect a Void Rail, and even when he didn't have units in his base, he just... You know, let's talk about this a little bit. Ven actually could have done so much more with that Void Ray. If he controlled it properly, if he warped in some units to send into Nada's base, it could have been okay. But no, he didn't do any of that. He actually just sent one Void Ray in there and didn't micro it and watched it like lose hit points slowly over time to Marines that popped out of barracks. Does that ever make sense? No. He also totally messed up the force field of the ramp. He had his units out. He had sentries with that stuck on the watchtower. That doesn't make any sense. Nothing made sense. Alright guys, the countdown is starting. Hopefully game 3 will make a little bit more sense. Nada versus Ven. Only one of them will get out of Code A and stay in the GSL.